A group of Ontario youth are suing Doug Ford for his climate change policies, and they are making massive historic gains in this case. With the Ontario Court of Appeal ruling in favor of the youth-led climate lawsuit against the Ontario government, the ruling confirms that Ontario's weak target is risking the lives and well-being of Ontarians. And listen to this, the government tried to argue in court that its climate actions were not subject to the charter. Basically, they could put your life at risk and that would not be a charter violation. So Doug Ford, the guy who was forcing municipalities to rip up bike lanes and who decided to try to take away your charter rights and your ability to organize in a union and fight the government when they give you unfair wages, that guy is trying to argue in court that the government has zero responsibility for your health and safety for the future of you and your children's lives. Because that's what the government's argument boils down to. So now this is going to go back to the Superior Court of Ontario, where the government is going to argue that they are allowed to violate the 7th and 15th section of the charter. The government arguing that in regards to climate change policy and other policies, they have the right to violate the right to life, liberty, and security of the person. The government is trying to argue that if they make a policy that violates your right to life, that's okay. That if their policy will directly endanger you, your well-being, or the future of your children, that's totally fine. That is the Ford government's argument. And because climate policy affects all of us differently, the youth are also arguing that it violates Section 15, which is that every individual is equal before and under the law and has the right to equal protection and equal benefit of the law without discrimination. And if these youth win in court, the government will have to, in the future, enact the notwithstanding clause if Doug Ford wants to continue with his destructive policies. But when has that stopped him in the past? Thank you to these youth for fighting the good fight.